Clay Hicks. I'm the CEO founder of H7 Network. I'm here with Carrington Crothers. She is not only an H7 director in the Boston area, but she's also, uh, well, she's pretty special. She's a photographer, but she's not just your basic photographer. So we're going to learn a little bit more about Carrington and what she does and how she does it, and maybe where she does it. So, Carrington, why don't you thank you for being here with me. Why don't you kick us off and introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me, Clay. So, as Clay said, I am Carrington Crothers, and I am the founder of Prospect Street Studio. And what I do is I specialize in creating product photography and content creation for food and beverage brands and consumer goods brands. So, my whole goal is that I help create the imagery for the e-commerce platforms like Amazon, Shopify to help products stand out and drive sales. So we focus on really just blending creativity with some strategic imagery for really just helping the brands deliver the visuals that will actually boost their conversions, not just look nice so they can take it to market and grow their businesses.
Awesome, awesome, thank you. So, tell us a little about how you came to create Prosper. Sorry, your company. I don't want to mess that up, please. Tell us a little bit about how you came to create the story, please. Your company.
Yeah, so I fell into running Prospect Street Studio totally by accident, and I ended up getting into photography when I was in college. I was a graphic design major, and I had to take a photography course, which I hated. And one of my other instructors happened to ask me one day, "How do you like photography?" And I was like, "I just want to pass. That's all I cared about." He loved photography.
Yeah.
He spent an hour with me teaching the basics.
Wow.
That hour sent me into doing 2 more years at photography school. I majored in advertising, started freelancing, and growing my own business. And eventually that blossomed into Prospect Street Studio. But it's a nice story because you could spend 1 hour with somebody and it's proof that you can change their entire life. Because if he hadn't spent an hour with me, I don't know what I'd be doing today.
Wow, that's an incredible story, Carrington. I didn't know that part of the story, so that's really great.
Yeah.
It is pretty magnificent what you can do when you spend a little time with someone, you connect with them, and you listen to them, and you have a real, genuine, authentic conversation. How
Yep.
powerful that really can be. So that's awesome. So, Carrington, share with us. Tell us a story of a recent client you worked with and what you did for them and how it worked.
Yeah, so actually, a recent job I did was one that I did for free. So,
Yeah.
a big part of my business is giving back and wanting to help brands actually be able to figure out how to use imagery to grow. So, I'm a member of a natural products organization, and they started saying, "Hey, do you want to start helping some smaller startup businesses really get their feet wet with all of this?" And I was like, "Definitely, I would love to do that."
Yeah.
So I worked with a local coffee company. They make organic coffee. And we went through a full strategy session to figure out what kind of imagery do they have now? Where is the business going? What kind of images are we going to create? I brought them into the studio. We did a small photo shoot so they could do a brand feature. So that includes 3 to 4 different pictures. And it gave them the opportunity to see how their brand can actually grow through using professional videos. And they loved the experience. It was something they've never actually been able to do before because at this stage they couldn't afford it. And now they're starting to see, like, all right, if we start implementing these photos, what's our next step? How are we connecting with more people through this?
Yeah.
And being able to just give back and help different brands, that part is a really big part of what I love to do and being able to see them grow after that. So that was a recent job that I did. Obviously, it was a give back job, but nonetheless, it was still one of the ones that I was really excited about.
It's awesome. Thanks for sharing that story with us. So, okay, give us a couple of ideas around who your prospects are so that those in the audience listening may be able to be of service to you.
Yeah, so the two main connection points that I have are people in the e-commerce space and marketing.
Okay. Okay. All right, cool. So you're a director of H7, and you've been doing it for a while now, and you are determined to be successful. Love working with you. Very professional. What made you want to become a director?
Yeah, so a big part of my business is I really prioritize building relationships through networking. And I've been doing this for years before H7 was even something I knew existed.
Yeah.
And being able to connect with other entrepreneurs, brand owners, creatives, businesses, doesn't matter if it's an industry event or just communities like H7, that's a really big part of my business on a day to day. So when I originally found H7, it was a perfect platform for me because it allowed me to have flexibility and to be able to connect with just different business owners.
Mhm.
And obviously, I joined just as a member. Then it came time for renewal. And I was like, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to renew because it just really fits my business model and what I need. And becoming a director allowed me to create deeper connections with the members, grow my business, learn more about other businesses and how I can help them, and just kind of level up on how I do my networking. And H7 has a different type of kind of way of communicating with people. So I really like the way that the calls are run and being able to just connect with people on a deeper level.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So, if a new member was listening to you, what would you tell them about their experience in H7? Just one or two pieces of advice.
Yeah, one or two pieces of advice. It can be overwhelming in the beginning because there are so many opportunities. And take a look at everything that it's offering and pick one or two rooms that you want to be in and focus there and then expand out once you have your feet wet and you understand the process and how this works. Because if you go in all these different directions, you're going to get really overwhelmed.
Yeah,
And then that's not where you want to be. That's not going to help you in the long term. So
yeah,
figuring out, helping them figure out, okay, what are the two rooms you want to start with and start going from there. That would be my biggest takeaway. So you don't get too overwhelmed too quickly.
yeah. It's awesome. Thank you, Carrington.
Of
Thank you
course.
for being such a service to the members in the Boston community and those who also are in the surrounding communities serving them. Um, you have a positive reputation. Everybody just talks about how great you are, Carrington. We also
Thank
believe
you.
here, those I'm sure listening. So, is it okay if everybody connects with you, uh, emailing you? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Can they connect with you on LinkedIn, things like
of
that?
course.
Especially, probably visitors want to know more about you too, especially in that area. So, you guys are welcome to connect with Carrington. Any final words, Carrington, you'd like to share?
No, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be part of the H7 community and bringing me on to do this little interview.
Thank you, Carrington, and thank you for coming on with me.